Welcome all to the first class of third semester. Now we are discussing about the cell cycle and its regulation. The topic is coming under the paper Clinical Genetics in Unit 1 of the same. We all heard of cell cycle, mitosis, meiosis from class 10 or 11. Still, many of you might have confusions on the topic, especially about the events takes place during each stage of the cell cycle. This is just because of the reason that we just tried to swallow the theory as given by the tutor, but not worried or thought about the reasons behind the conditions in each stage. Anyway, in coming 3 to 4 lectures, I will try to open up your mind into the questions why, what, how, etc. Before entering the topic, please note down the reference books you can follow for the topic. These are the reference books. Copies this one, and then if you need in detail, then you can refer for Lodish. Then Alberts is another one, good book. And let's start. First of all, what is cell cycle? In simple sense, as name indicates, it is all about cyclical events which takes place inside the cell as part of its development, growth and the reproduction. Can you imagine the number of cell divisions that take place during the lifetime? It is around 10,000 trillion cell divisions, that is 10 raised to 12 cell divisions in our lifetime. Our body is doing an amazing job to regulate the process by minimizing the errors during the process. Actually, we all know the basic cell theory, which states that the cells are the fundamental units of life and all living things are made up of cells. And the final point of cell theory is relevant in this context. It says all cells originate from the pre-existing cell, and it is necessary for production in unicellular or multicellular organisms, and it is required for growth in multicellular organisms as well. As part of body repairing and maintenance, it is necessary to replace worn out cells in multicellular organisms. During the process of cell division, it subdivides the cytoplasm of the mother cell into small units of the daughter cells. Then plasma membrane surrounds the newly formed small units of cytoplasm. We know there are two types of organisms. One is prokaryotes and another is eukaryotes. Because of the primitiveness in the body structure and functioning, the reproduction or cell division in prokaryotes is also not that much advanced. As we know, prokaryotes have no nucleus, and prokaryotes simply divide their cells into two by binary fission. And in the case of eukaryotes, they are advanced in features from the prokaryotes. So the division process is also a little bit advanced than the prokaryotes. Eukaryotes must divide their nucleus and other organelles such as mitochondria in preparation of cell division, that is mitosis or meiosis. Before the nucleus divides, the genetic material replicates or duplicates. In the last semester, we learned the process of DNA replication. In detail. Connect those events with the cell cycle when we discuss more in coming slides. One question from my side is, in which stage of the cell cycle replication takes place? In which stage of the cell cycle replication takes place? Hope everyone knows the answer. It is S phase. Okay. Then, what is the difference between mitosis and meiosis? Mitotic division results in genetically identical eukaryotic cells, that is a clone, and mitosis is the basis of asexual reproduction. We learned all these from school life itself, I think. And meiosis is the event which takes place as part of preparation for fertilization. And meiosis shuffles genes in new combinations, and meiosis results in genetically different cells. Hope everyone knows the process of shuffling the information in DNA into the new combination. And meiosis and fertilization are the basis of sexual reproduction. Not asexual, it is sexual reproduction. Actually, before entering into the depth of cell cycle, everyone should have the knowledge on the basic difference between the terms chromatids, chromosomes, non-homologous chromosomes and homologous chromosomes, etc. If anyone have the doubt on the terms, refer books or web to clear the same. Hope everyone knows the stages of the cell cycle, that is G1, S, G2, M and G0 in some conditions only. Next, we are discussing how the chromosomes will look like before and after replication process. Here you can see two pictures, A and B on the left side of the screen. Consider this as the fourth chromosome of human, because it is submetacentric in diagram. As a diploid organism, we have two fourth chromosomes. One is from paternal side and one is from maternal side. In picture A, you can see the DNA. The DNA is well packed. The DNA is well packed in a compacted way as a single thread or single chromatid, which is not duplicated or replicated yet. This is the condition before replication. That is S phase of the cell cycle, and picture B represents the chromosome after replication. This after replication, a chromosome is having two chromatids which are joining at the centromere or kinetochore region. This is kinetochore region or centromere region. The newly formed chromatid is that is this one. Sorry, this one is sister to the next one. That is, this part is sister to this part, and the newly formed chromatid is sister to the previous one. So the chromatids are named as sister chromatids. So this is sister chromatids. So before replication, the chromosome appeared in a cell with a single chromatid. In the case of diploid organisms, two chromatids of the same chromosome, that is homologous chromosome, can see within a single cell. Then after S phase or after replication, we can see the chromosome with two sister chromatids which are attached at the centromere. In the case of diploid organisms like human, at this stage, that is after S phase, you can see four chromatids of the same chromosome as part of two homologous chromosomes. We can name it as A and B. That is, B is the homologous chromosome of A and A is the homologous chromosome of B. And you can see four chromatids here of the two homologous chromosomes that I made. On the right side of the slide, the same concept is represented in slightly different way. You can understand the same from the picture on the right side. So the cell cycle is the process of generating identical cells. When we analyzing the cell cycle, we can see that it is simply the repetition of three events. One is growth, second is duplication of genetic material, and the other one is distribution of the contents, that is genetic contents, including the duplicated genetic materials into the daughter cells from the mother cell to the daughter cells. So to produce a pair of genetically identical cells, DNA must be perfectly replicated and the resulting chromosomes must be segregated into two separate cells. That is the process which is happening during the process of cell cycle. Most cells must also double their mass and duplicate their cytoplasmic organelles also. To accomplish these goals, a cell must go through the cell cycle. That is the importance of cell cycle. As we discussed right now, cell cycle is the sequence of events, mainly two phases. That is, one is M phase, second one is interphase. M phase means mitosis or meiotic phase. Interphase is the time by which cell prepare for division by cell growth and DNA replication. And interphase is divided into G1, that is gap 1, S phase, and G2, that is gap 2. G1 is the period between end of M phase and start of DNA replication. This is the period of G1 phase. And G2 S phase is the synthesis period. S phase is the synthesis period. And G2, that is gap 2, is the phase after DNA replication to initiation of M, that is mitosis phase. And it is very interesting to see the time duration of each stages of cell cycle. During the early stages of embryo development, the cell will divide in every 30 minutes. During the early stages of embryo development, the cell will divide in every 30 minutes, while it takes 24 hours to complete the cell cycle in adults, which is also depending on the type of cells we are talking about. In the case of liver cells, it will take months to complete the one cell cycle. So it depends on these types of cells. And it will take 11 hours for the completion of G1 phase and 8 hours for the completion of S phase and 4 hours for the completion of G2 phase and 1 hour, only 1 hour for the completion of M phase. So when you draw the diagrammatic representation of the cell cycle as given in this slide, you should scientifically assign the proportionate area, that is proportionate area, to each stage based on time duration of each stage. Never give more area to G2. Never give more area to G2 than G1, because G2 is 4-hour process and G1 is 9-hour process. The rule is applicable to all the stages. Then now look at the events which are taking place during each stages of the cell cycle. Let's start from G1 of the interphase. G1, in G1 phase, cells undergo majority of growth. Majority of growth or majority of changes means it is the preparatory phase of S. It is the preparatory phase of S. And it is the longest phase also. It is the longest phase of the cell cycle, and cellular contents will double in this phase. Protein synthesis, that is the proteins which are required for the replication in coming stage, that is S phase, and RNA synthesis, ATP synthesis, which takes place in this phase. We can see 46 chromosomes with 46 chromatids in 23 pairs inside a single cell. Inside a single cell, you can see 46 chromosomes with 46 chromatids, 46 different chromatids in 23 pairs inside a single cell. In S phase, each chromosome replicates or synthesizes to produce sister chromatids, and it is attached. The sister chromatids are attached at centromere, which contain the centromere contains the attachment site called kinetochore. So the exact location of the attachment of the sister chromatid is kinetochore. Along with chromosome replication, one more event taking place in S phase. S phase. That is unequal division of centrioles into 4 sets from 2 sets. Centriole division. Now we can see 46 chromosomes with 92 chromatids because the replication of the DNA is completed in this stage, but the sister chromatids of each chromosomes are still attached, just like this pic, second pic. So the replication of the DNA is completed in this stage, but the sister chromatids of each chromosomes are still attached at the centromere region. So we can see 46 chromosomes in the case of a single human cell after S phase with 92 chromatids. And G2 is the preparatory phase. When coming into G2 phase, G2 is the preparatory phase of M, and again proteins such as spindle fibers, RNA synthesis, ATP synthesis takes place in this stage, and then 46 chromosomes with 92 chromatids will be present at this stage in a single human cell. And this is the time duration, the length of each cell cycle of each cycle, which is already discussed in the previous slide. And in the G1 phase, G1 is the period of time between last mitotic division, that is M phase, and beginning of synthesis of new DNA, that is S phase. It is the phase between M and S. And during G1, cell surveys the environment and makes the decision to enter the cell cycle, and proteins that promote cell division will be activated and force the cell towards the cell cycle. And in the S phase, short for synthesis phase, it is a short term for the synthesis phase, and it is the period in cell cycle during interphase between G1 and G2 phase. Following G1, the cell enters the S stage when DNA synthesis or replication occurs. At the beginning of the S stage, each chromosome is composed of one coiled DNA double helix molecule, that is single chromatid. One coiled DNA double helix molecule, which is called chromatid. At the beginning of S stage, you can see the chromosome as a single chromatid. The enzyme DNA helicase splits the DNA double helix down the hydrogen bonds, and DNA polymerase follows, attaching a complementary base pair to the DNA strand, making the two new semi-conservative strands. It is a simple sentence that explains the process of replication. You already learned process of replication in the previous semester. At the end of this stage, each chromosome has two identical DNA double helix molecules, and during S phase, the centrosome is also duplicated. This which was discussed in the last slide. The end result is the existence of duplicated genetic material in the cell, which will eventually be divided into two in the next stage. This in S phase. S phase ends with the existence of duplicated genetic material. Of course, the replication is completed in the S phase, so you can see the duplicated DNA at the end of the S phase. And G2 phase is the energy acquisition stage used for division, the second growth phase of the cell cycle, consisting of the portion of interphase after DNA synthesis occurs. It is the phase after DNA synthesis, that is S phase. A phase within interphase of cell division cycle that prepares the cell for mitosis. The next stage is M phase. So G2 is the preparatory phase of M phase. Since the formation of new DNA is an energy draining process, the cell undergo second growth and energy acquisition stage, this G2 phase. Because all the ATP which is synthesized in the G1 phase was used for the synthesis of DNA in S phase. So to continue into the M phase, the cell have to prepare or synthesize their own ATP in G2 phase. The energy acquired during G2 is used in cell division, and the energy, the ATP synthesized in G2 phase, is used in cell division. That is, the energy is used in M phase only. Will use in M phase only. So this is all about G2 phase of interphase. Two centrosomes have formed. You can see here the centrosomes. Two centrosomes have formed by replication of a single centrosome. So in this phase, G2 phase, centrosome is divided into two. In animal cells, each centrosome features two centrioles. Each centrosome have two centrioles. You can see here. This is one centrosome, this is another centrosome, and each centrosome in animal cell, each centrosome features two centrioles. Each centrosome have two centrioles. Chromosomes duplicated during S phase cannot be seen individually because they have not yet condensed. The chromosome is not condensed yet. In G2 phase, it is not condensed. We know that only in M phase, that is mitotic phase, the chromosome is getting condensed. Next, M phase. M phase is the cell growth and protein production. That is, M is the last stage also. M stage is last stage and is also called mitotic or meiotic phase. The phase is subdivided into 5 phases, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis. The number of chromosomes, that is 4, will remain as 46, and the process involved in M phase are cell growth and protein production stop at this stage in the cell cycle, and all of the cell's energy, because the protein production is stopped at the stage of M phase, because the M phase focusing on the complex and orderly division into two similar daughter cells. So all of the cell's energy is focused on the complex and orderly division into two similar daughter cells. And mitosis is much shorter than interphase, and it is lasting perhaps only 1 to 2 hours. It's already discussed, which was already discussed while we discussing about the time duration of each stages of the cell cycle. So the number of chromosomes, that is remains as 46, but the appearance of chromosomes will be different in different stages, will vary in different stages of this phase. All the details will be discussed in the coming classes, and hope everyone can understand the topic well and study the topic well. Thank you.